Did you notice that AEMOND is a real traitor in House of the Dragon episode 5? A very important point that is so different from the books. And the answer about Sunfire, the Aons Dragon. What happened to him? Did you notice in this episode we have the answer for it? And the new Dragon Riders, we have some characters that already shown in this season that possibly will help Rira in this next step in this season. Yeah, like all the episodes of House of the Dragon, there's a lot of details, secrets and Easter eggs, and in this video I will tell you about everything. If you wanna know, let's go. Hello everyone who watching this beautiful channel, my name is John Victor and I'm back to talk about House of the Dragon, this amazing spin-off from Game of Thrones that had such a political episode. This is not big like the episode 4, but it's a tradition from Game of Thrones to have some political episodes to develop the story, to prepare for the next step. The next step is the dragon seeds that will help Rhaenyra. She says in this episode she needs some new dragons. I will tell you about everything. Don't forget to check the like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will keep doing a lot of videos and telling details about these TV shows. And there we go. Here we have another very important episode for the story. Here we see some consequences for the Grims and for the Blacks. Consequences from the battle at the Rook's Rest. And talking about this beginning, I like to start talking about a very important secret, some important detail in this beginning, in this Aegon scene. Because there was some people there that were waiting for Aegon to die. I'm talking about the Silent Sisters. Yeah, did you notice these ladies that works for the Red Keep? We see them in Game of Thrones, we see them in the first season of House of the Dragon, but here in the Aegon's room, they are there both waiting for Aegon's death, like to prepare his body to take him. It's a very dark scene and shows how critical Aegon's situation was. He survived by a miracle. Like two women just waiting to take his body, like they were sure that he is going to die. This is so dark, but there's another detail, there's another person waiting for Aegon's death. Probably she did some prophecy like she did in the previous season and this same season. I'm talking about Helena, because Helena knew. Yeah, the most sensitive character in the series once again predicts something. Like in the episode 1, she predicts her son's death. Like when Jaehaerys died, we saw that she kept wearing this green dress. But in the beginning of this episode 5, when the guards arrive with Aegon inside this wooden box, they pass by and we see that she's wearing a black dress. I think she predicted something bad was about to happen to Aegon. She probably thought that Aegon died, and she is another character also waiting for the announcement of Aegon's death. Another very important detail, but let's talk about Aegon and his reference to his father, because in this episode there's a very important thing here. Aegon and Viserys. Yeah, there's a big reference here, and it's not only one. Like we see Alison seeing her son completely destroyed and with his skin melting just like Viserys was. Also, Aegon was in the same room and in the same bed that Viserys was, and it was even there that Viserys died and talked to Alicent about the heir of the throne. That got her confused. Like now she knows that there was a mistake, but she insists in the lie. And this scene, this reference to Viserys, works like she insisted on her mistake and now her son is in a similar situation to his father because of her. The reason why Aegon is there in this situation is because of her. Like many references to the same character in the same scene, that's good, but there we go to the Valerian family. Because especially Corlys in this episode suffers a lot because of Rhaenys, and I like to talk about him, especially his castle, the Valerian's Dark Era. Yeah, it starts here. This scene is not about the second season, it's about the first season. The first time they showed the Valerian castle is a clear and beautiful view, and now after Rhaenys' death, we see a dark view. We see the castle overlapping the sun and darkness symbolizing the beginning of the Dark Era. We also see in the show that Corlys lost everything, lost everyone, his son, his daughter, his wife. So this decision to start the episode showing the castle like this in darkness is very symbolic. But there we go, let's go to the next detail. Now let's talk about Aemon. That is a very important character. He's so bad, he's a bad person. He's intelligent, but this episode showed his strategy. Now he became the Regent King, which was what he wanted. The reason he burned his brother was out of revenge for the bullying he suffered, but also because he thought he was more capable to be a king. And especially in this episode, I like to mention about his first decision as a Regent King. It's like a clear reference to Cersei from Game of Thrones. If you don't remember, in the last season, she orders to close the gates and keep people inside King's Landing to protect the realm, use people as human shields to avoid the Daenerys attack with her dragon. And Aemon did the same thing in this episode, because right now they are vulnerable to retaliation from the Blacks, something that the Black Council even mentioned in this episode to Rhaenyra. They were planning to attack King's Landing using the dragons in this time because Vhagar is tired because of the fight, she's wounded, and Rhaenyra didn't accept that. But this Aemon's decision to close the gates is because of that, to use people as human shield in case of some dragon attack. He's a great fighter and strategist, but he's a pretty bad person. And this episode also suggests that he's going to kill Aegon. I really don't think they will change the fact from the books, but especially when we see some scenes from episode 6 trailer, we see that Aemon's going to Aegon, pressing his chest, making him to suffer, as if he wanted Aegon to die soon. Yeah, let's wait for the next episode. We are going to see more about Aemon, but let's talk about Aegon, because also there's a scene in this episode 5 that suggests that Aegon can screw on Aemon because he woke up. In this episode we clearly have this scene that proves Aegon woke from his coma, saying mother, like he came back from his coma and he remembers. And also based in a scene from the episode 6 trailer, we see that Alison is talked to Aemon, and probably Aegon reveals to her what Aemon did in Rook's Rest, and now she can be desperate seeing the monster they put in the power, perhaps making things even more difficult to Aemon, which increases the division inside the Green family. We are going to see about this in the next episode. Yeah, that's a good detail, a good secret, but let's go to the next one. Talking about Aegon, I like to talk about his dragon, because it's a mystery from this episode, or it's not like a mystery. Yeah, this episode revealed what happened to the dragon. Sunfire is alive, Aegon's dragon. He also survived, and it was mentioned in this episode, there's a reference to it. In this scene where Alicent talks to Criston Cole, he's cleaning his sword. He says that Sunfire was badly injured and they were unable to take him to King's Landing. So he left him at Rook's Rest, the dragon, with some guards. This is also a reference to the books, because there Sunfire also lives, and it's possible that he will still have an important role in this show. Let's wait, I won't talk about spoilers. Let's talk about the next detail in this episode 5. Let's go back to Alicent and her great childhood friend that is not a friend anymore. Let's talk about Rhaenyra and Alicent, because the same fate happened to both. Like, the show continues to parallel Rhaenyra and Alicent, and at this time we see this parallel in the council, like the Black Council repressing and discrediting Rhaenyra for being a woman. Like Sir Alfred, he mentions it to Rhaenyra when he's talking to her, and in the Green side, the Green Council is discrediting and repressing Alicent for being a woman. Also, they are repressing her because Aemon is a better choice. He's a better fighter than everything, but it was made on purpose to make a reference to Rhaenyra. Like, both are suffering the same thing in this episode, especially Alicent. She has no voice in the Green side anymore. But talking about sides, the Green side and the Black side, I like to talk about some characters that are not on either side. I like to talk about the ones without sides, especially Damon and Amon. Like, since the first episode of the second season it is clear, but this episode 5 makes it even more clear. We see Damon's pretensions here. He's trying to be at the throne. If he needs to cheat on Rhaenyra, he will do it. It is like he didn't work for the Black side or the Green side. Damon works for the Damon side, for his own purpose. And about Aemon is the same. In this episode we see even more that they are each other's mirror. Aemon is also trying to be at the throne. And it's like Aemon don't work to the Black side or the Green side. Aemon works to the Aemon side, also for his own purpose. These characters are very similar. They are so strong. Probably that's the reason people are waiting so much to see the battle between them. But we probably have to wait until season 3 or season 4 to see it, because there's a lot of some new stages to pass. Like this new one at the end of the episode that refers to the dragon seeds. The Black side is trying to get some new riders for the dragons. Let's talk about the possible riders, because in this season we see like some 4 bastards, some 4 new characters that they can try to ride some new Targaryen dragons and work to Rhaenyra. The first one is Hughammer, that we first see in the episode 1. He lives in the King's Landing, and in this episode 5 he's trying to escape from King's Landing. He probably is a Targaryen bastard, and we also have a scene in one of the trailers of this season, the Black trailer, that we see a table of some people people reunited with Rhaenyra. And in the right side, that's Hughammer. Yeah, the scene proves that he's going to ride some new dragon. There we also have Ulf, that we see in the episode 3 of this season. He's also a Targaryen bastard, as he revealed in this episode 3. But also there's another one in this table, that is Aedan, the Corlys Velaryon bastard that was introduced in the episode 2, talking to his brother Aelin. On this episode, episode 2, we have a scene of him looking at Sea Smoke. It's probably a reference that he's going to ride Sea Smoke. That's the third bastard that this season already showed, and also his brother Aelin. I don't know which dragon he will ride, if they will change the fact from the books, I don't know. But the dragons are there, they are preparing for this. In the trailer of the episode 6, we see Sea Smoke, someone trying to claim him. Let's wait to see if it works or not. Go put in the comments what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this content. If you'd like to know more about House of the Dragon and other shows, don't forget to check the like, it helps me a lot. And thank you for watching, thank you for your patience with my English. I'll be back soon, bye!